Can I get announcements from the attorneys and from probation, please?
Jordan Sims for the state of Texas.
Ricardo Briones for Mr. John Rangel.
Marie Martinez for probation.
Okay. Mr. Rangel, I do need to swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under penalty of perjury should you lie to the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Rangel, back on the 12th of July of 2021, 22, 23, 24, over 3 years ago, almost 3.5 years ago, you submitted an application. You asked the court to approve your request to be placed on community supervision. That's known as probation. In lieu of you going to the Bexar County Jail to serve time on the offense that you were charged with. The court approved your request. You were placed on probation for an assault bodily injury offense to a family or household member. And you were told that the range of punishment for that was up to 1 year at the Bexar County Jail, up to a $4,000 fine, and you could lose your Second Amendment constitutional right to bear firearms, have guns, and handle ammunition. Mr. Rangel, we're at that hearing today that you were warned about. So, do you understand why we're here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand what could possibly happen at the end of this hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Rangel, thank you very much. Please stand by. Mr. Sims, as the prosecutor for Bexar County and the attorney for the state of Texas, the DA's office filed a motion to revoke Mr. Rangel's community supervision. Can you put on the record why we're here today?
On or about the 31st day of March, 2023, in Dimmitt County, Texas, the defendant, John David Rangel, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2. In Dimmitt County, Texas, the defendant, John David Rangel, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of May and June 2023 in violation of condition number 4. And on or about the 3rd day of July 2023 in Dimmitt County, Texas, the defendant, John David Rangel, did then and there fail to comply with all rules, regulations, instructions, and financial agreements as directed by the court and or supervision officer and or the head of or authorized personnel of the following counseling education program, the state accredited battering intervention and prevention program, in violation of condition number 14.
Anything else, Mr. Sims?
That is it, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Rangel, I'm going to ask you for each of the allegations made by the state. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Rangel, if the allegation is true or not true. That's all you need to answer, Mr. Rangel. Your attorney, Mr. Briones, will take care of any other additional information that the court needs to know before ruling. Okay, Mr. Rangel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Sims, Officer Martinez, I just want to be clear. The court had approved that Mr. Rangel be supervised on probation out of Dimmitt County. Is that accurate?
No, Your Honor. He was reporting to Bexar County. You approved VOV reporting. So he was reporting via Zoom.
I see. Okay. So, Mr. Rangel, listen closely. The state is alleging that you violated condition number 2 of your court-ordered conditions of probation by failing to submit to drug testing in Dimmitt County as court-ordered on or about the 3rd day of March of 2023. Is that true or not true, Mr. Rangel?
I have my idea. True.
Mr. Sims, what is the state seeking today?
Revocation, Your Honor.
I'm going to now ask probation for probation's recommendation and a brief summary of Mr. Rangel's overall compliance with this conditions of probation and the court's orders. Officer Martinez.
Yes, Your Honor. Probation is recommending revocation as well. This is a second MTR for Mr. Rangel. The first MTR we withdrew and extended him. We ordered him to comply with BIP. At that time, he stopped reporting. We were not able to do a field visit only because he is residing in Carrizozo Springs. During his time on probation, he failed to submit on 3 separate occasions. He did not register for BIP. He did not complete the MP 360 that was ordered at the time. He still owes $1,545. He did pay $102. He was allowed to report via Zoom, so there was no excuse for him not reporting. All he had to do was log on to an app at a certain time. Due to it being the second MTR and the case expiring in July of last year, probation is recommending revocation.
How many days does he have jail time credit?
45 days as of the 30th of October.
Okay.
That's an additional 5 days.
5 days. So 40 days?
50 days.
50 days. Okay. All right. Mr. Briones, the court will hear from you now. Rest assured, he'll get that 50 days credit on whatever we decide to do today. Plus, I'm going to give him a couple of more days credit for the $102 he paid. Is there anything else, Mr. Briones, that you believe he should get credit for?
Well, Your Honor, my client had some issues regarding logging onto Zoom due to his work. He was working at the oil fields in Carrizo Springs. To his credit, he hasn't picked up anything new. He's kind of just been laying low, paying his bills, working. He has 2 small children, a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old who miss him, and he's with the mother, and they're essentially a household. And being out of work for this month and being incarcerated has definitely taken a toll on them, at least speaking to mom about that. So while he does realize he did make a couple stupid mistakes, I think there's something to be shown for him not getting into trouble again. I think the complainant was his father-in-law, and him just kind of laying low and not causing any more problems to the county. So that would be our argument, Your Honor.
Okay. So how much credit do I give everybody else here who hasn't reoffended and is working and is laying low? He's supposed to do that. And you want me to give him extra credit for that, Mr. Briones? That's what he was supposed to do. Not reoffend, work, lay low. So no, he's not getting any extra credit for that. And I can't take your testimony, Mr. Briones, otherwise I have to remove you from the case. So all this stuff about his kids missing him and that you talked to his wife, that's evidence that I cannot consider unless you want to withdraw from the case. And you can be a witness at that point. Where's the 1 and 4-year-old now? Probably being taken care of by his father-in-law and the mother of the children. And they can continue to be taken care of by them. Part of the job that this court has to do is to do what is necessary to make sure that people don't reoffend and that we break the cycle of this type of behavior. And just rewarding Mr. Rangel for just not reporting, for not doing what he was court ordered to do, that's not going to happen today, Mr. Briones. He needs to be held accountable. The problem with this behavior is that it's been normalized, and people think that it's because it's a misdemeanor, it's no big deal. It's a crime of escalation. This is where it all starts, Mr. Briones. It's not where it ends. It's where it starts. Mr. Rangel, this
Yes,
court
Your
is
Honor.
going to accept your 2 pleas for violations number 2, number 4, and number 14 as pled by the state. The court is granting the state's motion to revoke your probation, and the court is finding you guilty of the offense of assault, bodily injury to a family or household member. That's your father-in-law. So that's family violence. The court is sentencing you, Mr. Rangel, like you were warned on the 12th of July of 2021, to 365 days at the Bexar County Jail, assessing a $4,000 fine, plus court costs, issuing the affirmative finding of family violence. Mr. Rangel, you cannot purchase, possess, own, or use a firearm, a gun, or ammunition. Upon your release from custody, you cannot live anywhere, stay anywhere, or visit any location where firearms, guns, or ammunition can be found. Upon your release from custody, you cannot be a driver or a passenger in any motor vehicle in which firearms, ammunition, or guns can be found. And upon your release from custody, we're not restricting your right to hunt. We are restricting how you hunt. You cannot use a firearm, gun, or ammunition to hunt with. The court is ordering that you get 50 days of credit for jail time, plus 2 more for the $102 you paid, whoever you paid that money to in Dimmitt County. Your time and money will run concurrent, and you'll be released upon the completion of your sentence. Any questions, Mr. Rangel?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Anything else, Mr. Briones, Mr. Sims, or Officer Martinez?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Nothing from probation.
Everyone is excused.